Okay, so here we are with my first video. Gonna be kind of covering just strategy games that I play. This one here is Age of Empires 4. This was way back in November when it first came out, and I think it's the first match I recorded and first match I'm doing a voiceover on. So hopefully the audio is okay for everybody. This is a water map, and it is way, first when it first came out. So there's a bunch of things that have been changed balance wise, but this is a water map. It's on as a Mongols. Kind of just the main faction I play is Mongols. I really enjoy the campaign. I have played the other factions a bit. Still finishing the masteries on them. They're pretty fun to play. I just really enjoy playing Mongols. As Mongols, not as kind of an infantry-based army, but mostly a cavalry-based army. This map, this match is an exception because it's a water map. But Mongols are also very strong on water. And this is one of my, I guess, earlier games, and still not that great of a player, but I was definitely a little worse then, got a little bit better. So on water maps, I start off with an immediate dock, no Uvu, and send all my guys onto wood. You can see the really slow APM here. Not not moving around very quickly here, and this is also before the games had the queues, the global queues out, so just kind of bear with me. This game is just kind of showcasing the strength of the Mongols on water. Water has been changed a little bit since then because of the patches and everything, but Mongol on water is still very strong. It's just about rushing that dock and pumping out units as quick as possible, aging up to age 2. I do a lot of mistakes here. That first villager that built that dock should have been staying and collecting fish. It's kind of necessary to maintain villager production until your first ships really start dropping off food. You can kind of see the pretty slow scouting I've got going on. And you can see I was short on food, and that's why I was kind of manually dropping off that food there. Because a lot of downtime there for my villager production. And which is unfortunate. But luckily my opponent wasn't the best, so I was able to still capitalize on it. And yeah, here we go, just still cranking out units. That's the bad thing is this match is from my perspective as I was playing. So some of the matches I'm gonna try to definitely do recordings after the fact, so we can kind of see what the enemy's doing at the same time. Right now, this is just kind of my perspective. So I guess in terms of especially for this early game, it's kind of slow because you can't really hop around and see everything. But yeah, you can see here the food is still just super behind because I didn't macro it correctly here. But dude, I finally got a bunch of ships out, plenty of wood production now to be cranking out ships continuously, and villagers as well. Now I can get a continuous production of villagers. Just not entirely sure why I wasn't building another villager. There we go. Yeah, the macro play early on I was still very sloppy. It is back when everything was quick matches, so everything was just kind of not super serious. But yeah, this this channel is just gonna be a bunch of strategy games. I play Age of Empires 2 back in the day. I played Age of Mythology. Never really played Age of Empires 1. Did a lot of Battle for Middle Earth. Really big into Total Wars. Mostly the historical Total Wars. I haven't really played Warhammer Total War. I've been kind of thinking about getting the third one, but for now I'm just sticking to the. I have Rome Total War, Rome 2, Shogun, Shogun 2, Medieval 2. I have the Third Age Total War model as well for Medieval 2, which is also a very fun game. And different, just a few strategy games here and there. That's kind of my big thing is strategy games. Some 4x, some turn-based stuff I enjoy. Here you can kind of see I'm finally aging up at the 5-minute mark, so really slow. Going up with 6, and you can also see while I'm aging up here, putting more 9 guys on. 8 is kind of like a good number. It's either like 3, 4, 8, and then 12, because if you don't put enough guys on, it's just if you put like 1 or 2 extras, it doesn't really change the time that much. So that extra villager, that 9th villager, really isn't contributing much, and would be more productive resource gathering. So little things like that I've kind of learned along the way. But the big thing is that while I'm aging up here, it is late, but anybody that is kind of doing a Mongol strat on water, just make sure you get a third dock up while you're aging up. And while I'm aging up here, I'm going to start transitioning straight to getting the fishing, the extended lines here, so it's a little bit faster. My ship movement across the way. I also need to get some raiding ships out, and some light junks, and I'm gonna start pumping those out. And then the deer stones is really good for production in terms of resource gathering, but also dropping a blacksmith. Your light junks benefit from the arrow ship, from the arrow upgrades and the missile defense upgrade, which can be big early. And there you go, pump out another light junk. And a big thing is actually when I do this water strat now is I usually don't go up with deer stones. A lot of time I'll go up with silver tree. You can't trade, but you get that market, and you're always gonna have kind of surplus of food. So it's nice to trade. Like right now, if I could trade all that food for gold, I could have cranked out a lot more ships. So again, there's definitely a lot of macro mistakes in this replay. Still, luckily, it's a low enough elo. I think this quick match stuff, I was sitting around like 1,000 or 1,100 elo in this match. So I'm starting to scout around with the light junks. I was checking out my gold production to make sure that I could crank out enough of these light junks, because I wanted to get the upgrade. It's kind of a fine balance, because you want to get the upgrade for your ships, the blacksmith upgrades, but you also really want that 250 gold upgrade for the piracy upgrade for those ships, because if you can hit their fishing line early, that's a lot of gold and wood that you get returned, and it kind of pays for itself. You can fund like 3 or 4 more ships if you get a good raid off. And this is way late, so it's 8.5 minutes, and I haven't raided yet. I'm just kind of checking out, trying to find his docks and everything. Kind of just scouting around, and yeah, I've only got 5 ships right now, which isn't a lot. Finally get that upgrade. Finally dropping the market off, and here I'm gonna trade. Yeah, just clicking it up. Now I'm cranking out a bunch of ships as the kind of as it's supposed to be, really. And I'm getting the arrow upgrade, selling the rest of my food off, and getting that the missile defense upgrade. You know, I'm so late because of my really bad macro play. I was kind of worried that something could happen. I was gonna probably show up with show up and meet a bunch of resistance is kind of what I was expecting to happen. And so it's kind of trying to just crank out enough ships where hopefully whatever I was coming across, I was going to be able to, have enough production coming up behind it to help. So I'm sending like grouped units off, and I think I kind of knew that he was going to be on the left hand, the northwest, I guess, in terms of the mini map side. Reset my rally point up there into that bush area because it's going to be pretty close, and I can kind of figure out what I was going to do from there. Again, took way too long to do all this. A better player probably would have already been pushing me or cranked out more military ships to fight me. So I got kind of lucky that I just bumped right into it. But here you can kind of see so that's, for each ship I'm getting 25 wood, 25 gold. So right there, that's 3, 4, 5 ships, 6 ships. And I see he's basically stuck there. He's dropped out his first galleon, or Hulk, and again, he was way late on bringing out military ships, and I got kind of lucky because most players, especially in higher elos, they will have that ship out a lot earlier. So Hulk at like 7, so I'm basically sinking 10 ships here. That's 250 food and gold, or wood and gold. So the upgrade has paid for itself already, and it's paid for extra wood. I guess it kind of makes that food into wood, basically. So I'm focusing down these docks because he's gonna pump out more ships. He dropped. That was just terrible micro right there. I should have known. So I got greedy there, and I wanted to sink. I wanted to get rid of the tower as soon as possible. And when I should have just been focusing down this dock from a safe distance, and I just I decided to get close and sink that tower before he upgrades it, because then it's going to start picking away my ship slowly. But you run the risk of being close to the dock and him bringing out an explosive jump just like that. So it's my fault for playing greedy there. At full, with triple docks are on full production. I don't know why he's building a house plus. I'm getting the on fire building bonus there too. And 3 more ships here, so that's gonna put me over the cost of my piracy. And it's just it's just, I guess, profit not sinking his ships. And he wrote that it's bugged, and what he was talking about was the prelates are pretty. When AOE4 first came up, the prelates were super buggy. They would sit around and not buff their units properly, stuff like that. So he said influence, and I was kind of confused what he meant. And he kind of explains that it's the prelate buff. So 2 more boats in here. It's gonna be another 50 gold. So that piracy upgrade is really big. There's some, there's different matches where you're playing, you're having this long battles with ships and everything, especially if it's early. against Rus and stuff like that, you know, that piracy upgrade is huge. You get a big bonus, or a good amount of resources from it. It definitely pays for itself. And I happen to look over and I see he had a transport ship out. He must have made it early and had been scouting around with it. At which point I was like, oh boy, I gotta start checking around. I got kind of lucky that I had ship over there. Maybe not lucky, but it was a good thing I did because I just noticed he was sending a bunch of villagers over, so he was gonna raid me or something like that. Do a little sneaky drop off, and I had scouted it out. I got lucky because his transport was out on the map and it really slipped past me, and I wasn't properly scouting. I'm just sitting there, you know, dropping down stuff, dropping down the dock and the tower and the house there, just shooting them instead of taking 4 or 5 of those boats and really scouting out. So, you know, now I'm starting to scout out the west. Still got my ships along the coast there. He's dropping down repairs. It's crazy. You can be shooting it with all that, it does literally nothing. But he was gonna start building a dock there, and now I'm actually starting to properly scout. Get his coastline fully vigilated, or fully, I guess, checked out. He is, you know, age 3, so I've actually lost some games where I've had full sea control and just kind of sloppy play, and they'll build up enough army on land to kind of fight me and push me off and build a dock, and it can be done, and it's basically bad macro play that allows it, and I've done it. Definitely done it. I've definitely lost a game in this situation. It wasn't this straightforward of a map though. This island doesn't have like an alcove in it. Some maps, some of the Warring Island maps will kind of have like an alcove or like a peninsula, and that really allows land units to really get a good kind of staging ground to shoot. So I've got my step readout going. It's in between those 2 spots, which is nice. I see he's got this tower here, and I figured he's gonna try to start buffing them up and making a dock. I really should be coming in there and trying to sink those towers. So I just keep sending. Gonna finish properly scouting here because it's the 16-minute mark and I still haven't scouted properly the whole ocean, which is not good. It's just sloppy play really. Just really relaxed, I guess. Now I'm up to 4 docks. Dropping the transport ships so I can start conquering the sacred sites. I mean, I could invade and everything, but it's, you know, he's aged up. I'm gonna have to, you know, transition to start building military buildings and bringing them over. It's always kind of a pain, so I just want to dominate water, hold the sacred sites, and that'll be an easy way to win. I really didn't have to get that relic to the monastery, and I look over and I notice that, hey, he's got a dock up, so, and he's also got those towers upgraded. So once again, sloppy play, not allowing him to do that is what I should have done. I most definitely could have dropped that tower a lot earlier, and this is what you pay. But the big thing was that there, even if I lose some jugs, I really wanted to focus down this the dock. I didn't want to have an explosive jug out or any ships. I didn't have to deal with it. And then I'm aging up, 18-minute mark. And going red nose, like GG. I was hoping he would quit. I don't think there was much he was gonna do, but he doesn't quit. He sticks it out to the end. You know, the Castle Age war jugs here are big in taking out buildings. They help a lot. finally microing my my monk properly here. Just kind of talking to him a little bit, trying to get some perspective on what he thinks. If he's played it, you know, Mongol water. Early on, everybody was saying French water was OP, which it was really strong. It's not like it was weak by any means. Especially against some of the better players that I played against, you know, they would have one or two hulks out, and I would have like 10 or 12 fight chunks, and it really depended on playing it properly. Little mistakes, losing that one, making him lose a hulk early, versus, or if you took a couple bad trades with not enough mass with your light chunks, you would cost you the match. A big thing. He says you're not very interactive, but yeah, and sometimes if the big thing with the Mongol light chunks, it's kind of like the Mangadai. They're kind of like Mangadai in water. So if you can hit fishing boats and just keep swimming and hit them, it's really big. I think now it's been changed so they can't shoot on the move, which I kind of find unfortunate because their kind of strength was being able to kind of skirmish the bigger ships and then go past them and hit the fishing ships, the eco ships, get the piracy bonus, and then kind of disengage because they're faster. Heal up if they had to, and then try to pick off the bigger ships one at a time. Hero Wolf was almost got me. So finally gonna capture the other site. 20 minutes in. Definitely could have been capturing it earlier. But yeah, from here it's just basically super boring. For my first video too, it's gonna be fairly easy cast. I don't have to do much or think much. I will say I'm still kind of trying to figure it out, but it's not this recording is it's just a recording, and it's not a kind of like a live watching the post game. So I'm gonna try to do that for some of the newer ones. I do have a bunch of old games I started recording. Figured I played enough where I might as well start recording and uploading them. Sometimes there's some cool games and some cool situations, so might as well. But yeah, this game was just basically cut and dry after that first fight with the one Hulk he had. So kind of unfortunate, but from here is basically a 10-minute countdown to the end of the match. And so there he's dropping a fortress, and it's not a bad idea. It's just a little close. And before you drop a fortress, if you are kind of stuck on this situation, it's good to build springloads or cannons. One or the other. Kind of save up your gold and wood. And you definitely want to build siege weapons so you can kind of fight and pick off ships, and then you can build a fortress. I think they've also reduced the range of the warships. The big Valka, the big H4 ships, that have less range, so castles and stuff have a chance to fight them instead of just getting, shot down, which makes sense too. That kind of weird that the fortresses are being outranged by the cannons on the ships. Typically it's the other way around. The big difference being that the ship is mobile and hard to hit versus the fortresses in one fixed spot. So yeah, he's completely done for. I was really hoping he would tap out earlier, but no dice. But this is the first game I recorded with me playing while I was playing, and yeah, it's just kind of okay play. It was really early on in the age of when Age of Empires 4 was released, and I had just kind of started picking up Age of Empires again. I've been playing Age of Empires 2 a little bit months prior. And in general, I do enjoy Age of Empires 4. I really enjoyed the campaigns. I kind of wish there was campaigns for all the factions. I really enjoyed the Mongol campaign most. It is kind of unfortunate what the Mongols kind of play like now. They are almost online. Everyone plays basically entirely as infantry and siege army, which is not what the Mongols were historically. And that's one thing I guess I do enjoy about some of the other strategy games, like Total Wars. You can play the Mongols as a Mongolian army, which was 90-95%. And yeah, this is boring to play against. And I said, yeah, you can't. it's hoping you can't really play against it. I learned a lot here, and so he finally backs out and quits. Oh yeah, and the filter back in the day wouldn't let you say certain words, including Mongol. So that was that match, and yeah, I hope to start uploading some more videos, and um, hopefully it's a little bit more interactive ones, a little bit more fun ones. But this is kind of my first video, just kind of an introduction, and yeah, we'll kind of go from there and just kind of work on improving my videos. I'm sure this audio is just like a plug-in mic, so it's not really good or anything. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, and gonna start uploading some more.